Hi there, Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Star Wars, the Vintage Collection Jedi Knight Yord Fandar from the Acolyte. Now, I've got to be honest with you guys, I've had this figure for a little while. I just sort of haven't really had the desire to review it, and that is mainly down to the fact that I'm not a huge fan of the Acolyte. I think most people watching this channel will know that already. You know, it just didn't really sort of hit home like some of the other Disney Plus shows have. However, I can appreciate a decent action figure, and you know, everything that goes with that, the articulation, how good the likeness is, all that kind of thing. Even though I'm not a huge fan of, you know, the source material, I review everything from the Vintage Collection, including Jedi Knight Yord Fandar. I keep wanting to say Lord Farquhar, which is the guy from Shrek, right? But you know, anyway, let's take a look at the card back. All right, so here is the card back, and there he is in the bubble. He's got an orange name pill, which kind of matches his outfit there. And you can see a pretty decent image of Jedi Knight Yord Fandar on the card back there. There he is in the bubble, looking pretty cool. He comes with a lightsaber and an unlit lightsaber. And as far as I'm aware, this figure is an all-new figure, very much like the other characters that we've had from the Acolyte, which we will do a little mini lineup of them later on, the other two Jedis that we've had. He is VC354 in the line. And what is going to interest me is I want to check out these legs on this character here, because I've got a feeling, not 100% sure, but I've got a feeling they may have been the same legs that they reused for the Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Legend figure. But because I always did wonder where those legs came from, and I'm thinking it might be from this figure here, but we will definitely check that out later on in the video. Yeah, so VC354, that's the card back. Acolyte logo. Let's open him up and check out the figure. All right, then here is Yord Fandar out of the packaging, and he's looking pretty good there with his yellow lightsaber. We will take a closer up look at him and look at all the articulation, and more importantly, that head sculpt, see how well they have created that. But all in all, he's looking pretty good, especially as far as Jedis go. He's looking the part, absolutely. I've got a feeling, even though that this figure is all new, I've got a feeling that the robes that they've used are the same robes that they've used for Jedi Master Sol. They look almost identical to me. I will put all three Jedis from the Acolyte in a little lineup in a second so that you can see that for yourself. But, you know, the rest of the figure is all new, even down to the arms and the hands and those little gauntlets that he's got on the hands. Jedi Master Sol also has those, but they've actually created different ones. And in all honesty, I think they probably could have just made them the same and not many people would have noticed, but they have actually gone the extra mile and created all new arms for this guy, as I said, with those gauntlets on his wrists and his arms. And we'll take the robe off shortly so we can see that in a little bit more detail. But he's looking pretty good. And now we'll take a closer up look at that head sculpt. All right, so here is a close-up look at Yord Fandar, and I think they've done the head sculpt pretty well, especially the hair. You can really see that unique hairstyle that he's got there going on. Really nice sculpt. What I would say is I think mine's got a bit of a paint defect. You'll have to let me know in the comment section below whether yours is the same, but you can just see there that you've got that sort of almost like a purpley color brown paint application there for his sort of collar. But for me, it's only on one side. It's kind of missing on that side, and I've had a look at the image on the card back, and it should be on both sides. So let me know in the comment section below if yours is like that as well. But certainly it looks a bit odd like that, I've got to say. But you know, that might be the way that they've meant it to be. But there he is, and as I said, it's an all new figure, so it's an all new sculpt, and this is all sort of like soft vinyl rubbery plastic, so it doesn't get in the way of the articulation. It also has the split on the side there, so you can obviously get those legs out like so. And as I said, this figure is completely different to the Jedi Master Sol figure, which we will bring in a second. He has a slightly different belt with different sort of belt loadouts and things like that. The belt buckles ever so slightly different. And most importantly, the lower robes are different as well. And there you can see those gauntlets on the wrists and the hand that I was talking about. We'll just move those around slightly. But what we'll do, we'll bring Jedi Master Sol in now so you can see the differences. All right, so there you go. You've got Yord versus Sol there, and you can see that the tunics are ever so slightly different. In actual fact, Sol is a little bit shorter than Yord, which is probably screen accurate. But there you can see the two different sort of armors on their gauntlet there and on the hand. It's not just different paint applications, they've actually got different sculpting on there as well. So no expense spared for these Acolyte figures. And there you can see there, the undergarment there of my Soul figure actually has that painted correctly. But if you look at the Yord figure, I think it's definitely missing the paint applications on that sort of right-hand side, our left-hand side of the neck there. But there you can see the differences of the belt as well. Yord has slightly different things going on his belt. And as I mentioned, that tunic hanging down there is different as well. But there they are together. And if you're a fan of the Acolyte, of course, it's awesome to have these two, as well as Carrie-Anne Moss as well. So you've got 3 of the Jedis. Obviously, there's still some missing that they need to do. So if you are a fan of the Acolyte, you are probably hoping that they will complete that sort of Jedi crew with the Wookiee. And there's another sort of alien girl, isn't there, which I can't remember her name. I do apologise. But all in all, really good head sculpt on this guy. And in terms of the articulation, obviously, he's a brand new figure. He's going to have pretty much everything. Lots of range of motion on that head, on that barbell. We have the shoulder hinge, goes all the way round. Decent hinges at the elbows. You can see there. Hinges at the wrist. Torso joint, lots of range of motion there. We've got the barbell hips. We've got that nice cut at the thigh. Pretty good knee joints. Just about 90, maybe slightly more. And of course, rocker ankles as well. So plenty of articulation for Yord. Here's his pretty unique lightsaber. The hilt is very similar to Soul's, but it is different. And of course, he has the yellow blade there, which is pretty cool. And then you have the unlit hilt, which is going to plug into that little hole there on his belt. So I'll just plug that in there, and that just hangs down on his tunic, which looks pretty cool. I always tend to display my Jedis with the unlit lightsaber. I don't know why. But there you go. And here is Yord's robe with the hood pinned down, very much like Soul's. And if I'm honest, I can't really see a difference between the two. I think this is the only thing that they've kind of reused between the figures. And there we have it. There is all 3 of the Acolyte Jedis that we have currently. I did mention about the legs on Yord and then potentially being used for the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, and I've had a good look, and to me they look different. So still wondering where those legs on Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Legend came from. Anyone knows? Let me know in the comment section below. But there's the little lineup there. I've got to say, out of all 3 of these, Carrie-Anne Moss is still my favourite out of all 3. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like down below if you have enjoyed the video. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and channel members as always. Your extra support is greatly appreciated. So thank you so much. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we shall see you on the next one.